What is going on, everybody? RogersBase here with my live reaction to One Piece manga chapter 1076. I am supremely excited. I am hot off the heels of going to Super Nintendo World for the very first time. I was there with Japan Time crew yesterday. It was a lot of fun. I got ready for this morning stream. I was freaking out. I cut myself shaving. It's been a wild morning, but we are here. One Piece 1076. Let's do this. Let me open this baby up. I have so much stuff to talk about today. Like, so much stuff. But I want to start with the chapter because I managed to remain unspoiled throughout the course of this entire week. And I've heard from multiple people that this chapter is absolutely amazing. And I've also heard that after this chapter, we go on break. So that means that next week, we are doing the full Emu art contest with Tekking and with Joy Boy. It's going to be incredible. So, without any further ado, let's get started. One Piece manga chapter 1076. Let's go. Okay, here we go. Starting off with a beautiful color spread. Let me move this on over here. Hold on, give me a second. Okay, boom. And by the way, Nami on this color spread, I'm looking, the pink little booty shorts and everything, she looks really, really cute. Hugging Chopper. Chopper looks like he's in dreamland right there. We've got Brook, we've got Zoro, we've got Robin. I actually really love Robin's outfit here too, with like the little mini Chopper hat beret looking thing, and then her orange outfit with the sunset and the sunglasses. Looking absolutely gorgeous. Luffy at the very top. One Piece, you know what this looks like actually? Also, I love what they're doing with Sanji here as well. Kill two birds with one stone, and it's got like a cat on his shirt. I love the framing of this with Sanji's foot sort of sticking out of frame. And then where it says One Piece, it looks like it's written like a ransom note. Also, Jinbei looking in the corner, kind of cool. Frankie with his glasses as well. I love this. This is a really, really nice color spread. Probably one of my favorites in recent memory. I love this. It kind of reminds me of like a 90s shoe ad is what it reminds me like. So I like it. All right, here we go. Tab 76, let's do this. Again, if I lose my voice on today's stream, I lose my voice. It is what it is. We did Super Nintendo World yesterday. We got apparently a really good One Piece chapter today, so it's bound to happen. It's fine. I'll rest my voice tonight. I'll be good for tomorrow for the Pokemon Direct at 6 a.m. There's just too much going on, specifically this week. All right, 1076. Old friends. Now, I'm assuming we're going to get like a big Lucci Kaku thing or something this chapter if everyone's hyping this up. Okay. So Zoro says, if we take off your handcuffs so you can fight, I can't possibly see you submitting to them again. Now, that's just not true. Once we're clear of the present danger, we'll play nice and go right back in the cuffs. And stupid Luffy, agreeing, is sure going, nice, sounds good to me. And Zoro's like, he's lying. He's obviously lying. What are you doing? Really cool shot there with the split ground with the S-Hawk and S-Bear behind them, too. Zoro, trying to let Luffy know, you know what, this isn't the best of situations, but they got to do what they got to do. Okay, S-Hawk running on in, slashing, and you see them screaming, running out of the way. Zoro, okay, I'm getting one of these already. Okay. Second page, we got a Devil Fruit reveal for Seraphim Mihawk. Okay, what was that? The power of the dice fruit. Yo, so Mihawk has Mr. One's fruit? And you have the little bubbles in his arm as well? See, Zoro, are you going to lug us around every time we need saving? So they still haven't let them free yet. They're grabbing on the Kaku. May I ask, what mission brings you here, CP0? And then Lucci says, the assassination of the 7 Vegapunks. So at least Lucci is being honest, kind of like Luffy. Even Kaku's like, come on, not to his face, Lucci, come on. I presume that you've got something in store for Stussy as well after she betrayed you. And Lucci's like, yes, she will pay the price. And then meanwhile, Kaku's looking over like, for the love of God, are you trying to ruin this for us? What are you doing? Though, to be honest, Lucci may very well be trying to ruin it for them, considering the fact that after everything that they've been through, like think about what happened after the CP9 cover story, where they were basically hunted down for failing, and then the time skip happened, and then they were basically getting hunted down as well. Now they're Cypher Pole. It's like, this is too much for Lucci. Obviously, he doesn't want to be a part of this anymore. I completely understand. That is just such a cool shot, though. I know I'm jumping all over the place. That is such a cool shot of Zoro looking over at Mihawk using the exact same attack that Mr. One did. Phenomenal. All right, let's keep going. Get a little bit of a scream going over there. Kuma's over there. Okay. That scream was Nami. I bet all 4 of them are raising hell in here. Now, how many people do we have to protect on top of the Vegapunks? All right, Luffy's ready to free them. Helmet, cuff keys, please. And Shaka's like, dude, I'll let you make that call, but just be sure you protect the Stella, please. Once again, confirming Shaka, not the bad guy. All right. And Luffy says, after we've stopped all 4 of them, you better not go after my friends and the Vegapunks, just because you can't beat me in a fight. Do you got that? And I think Lucci knows at this point. Gear 5 Luffy, too much for him. And Zoro saying, don't be stupid. These guys aren't going to take that bait. And boom, right away, Lucci did, saying that's fine with me. I mean, you're the one I mean to kill before anyone else, Straw Hat. So, boom, ka-ching. See the cuffs coming off. And once you're out of the picture, know that all your friends will be dead soon after. And you got Zoro screaming, saying, he took the bait. Kuma making the little paw. Ursa. And then you see, in an instant, both the cups falling. Lovely. Ursa, shock. And then, giant explosion with the paw print on the top. Sound effects going. Gear 4. All right, flying into the sky. Not going Gear 5. Realizing I should probably save that for better occasions. All right, Gear 4. Gum Gum. And then you've got Luffy going, sorry, Bonnie. Next to Lucci, attacking this. Oh, man. This is wild. If you would have said this to me during Ennie's lobby, that we would eventually see this. See, oh, I'll save it. But this is awesome. Okay, sorry, Bonnie, they're screaming. Kong, gun, 6 king pistol, punching down, Gear 4. Lucci, boom, 6 king pistol. Both of them knock into this Kuma. Really cool framing on this. You got S-Hawk on the bottom. Purgatory Onigiri. Tempest Kick White Thunder. Both of them slashing. Kaku, again, I love what he's doing with action in this chapter. Kaku slicing down. You see his arm all the way out. Zoro, both swords back. Cut off to the little panel on the top. Zoro and Kaku looking at each other, slashing down. Meanwhile, boom! Kuma flying away. Mihawk flying away, slamming into the walls. Stuff going all over the place. Absolutely beautiful. Okay. Meanwhile, inside the lab. Okay. Please give us food. It's been 2 months without a real bite to eat. When are we ever going to get out, or will we die here? Government intelligence agencies CP5, CP7, and CP8. So they tried sending everyone else before they sent CP0 then. We came to investigate Egghead 2 months ago, and we were just about to leave the island when Sea Beast weapons attacked and drove us back here. Then, the other Cypher Poles who came to look into our disappearance ended up in the exact same situation. Okay. And you get the little ... I'm assuming that's Vegapunk? You'll forgive us if we assumed that you were the one behind this. Oh, okay, perfect. Dr. Vegapunk. All right. Sorry, I had no idea. To think that all this was happening on Egghead right under my nose. Okay, he looks like he's already pretty exhausted though too, and he's bleeding from his head as well, holding out of the handcuffs. That means trouble. And it explains one other thing, that there shouldn't have been any way for the government to find out about the poneglyph research that's been happening here. Okay. Base G9 has left port. So at least we see Vegapunk now. He's here. He's chilling in this containment center inside the lab. All right, Base G9 has left port. That puts the total fleet heading for Egghead at over 100 ships in total. All right, roger that. Whoa! Whoa! Oh! Oh! Oh, I turned the page. Oh, I turned the page! I see Shanks! On an island in the New World, in a little bar at a little port along the coast. Take me with you. Oh! Take me with you. Take me with you. This has got to be Elbaf, I'm sure. I'm sure this is Elbaf. This looks Norse. Oh, Kid and Shanks maybe this chapter? I don't take hot-headed little kids on board with me. Nice try, Squirt. So we got Shanks. Huh? Wait. Let me go back. I was losing my mind already. Hold on. Huh? I don't take hot-headed little kids on board with me. Nice try, Squirt. So they're at a bar. Shanks is drinking. You got this kid giant. Learn to give it up, hun. You're going to upset our captains. And he says, I don't care. I want to sail with him. Okay? Captain, he actually attacked us. The younger fellas are squabbling now. What do we do? This is bound to turn into a fight. You get an awesome shot of the Shanks pirates right there. You got the little monkey chilling in the back, drinking two things. You got Rockstar. You got all these characters. Yo, okay, hold on. I can't tell if his timing is the best or the worst. Just when we're about to set sail, too. Okay, Shanks is putting down his drink. Think I spent a little too much time talking. Oh, this looks cool. But you can't blame us for wanting to catch up when old friends who thought each other dead are reunited. Ben Beckman, Yassop, Lucky Roo, the whole squad. Our enemy must be furious. And you got Lucky Roo in the back. Yeah, that's rich coming from you, Beck. Now, who do you think he's mad at? We sail. Oh, the rest of them. Are we fighting, Captain? Let's go. We sail. Is there going to be a war, Shanks? Meanwhile, you got the barkeep over there saying, I won't let this island be a battleground. But you see over here, the barkeep going, what a stud. Barkeep giant absolutely in love with Shanks. I don't want to see major harm come to this place. So let me ask, will you help me with that Dory and Brogy? Oh, man! Yo, this shot! This is Elbaf, land of proud warriors. With Oimo and Kashi in the back, too? Oh! Ga-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Sure thing, brother. But before we leave, I need to ask you something. From Captain Kidd, sir? Well, what is it? Yeah. You want to fight, red hair? You got the little kid giant in the background, too? Yeah. Send this message. Do you want to fight me here and now? Or do you just want to leave your road poneglyph and flee? Make your choice. So Shanks wants to send a message to the kid pirates. Yo, so the... Wait. So early... Wait, I gotta go back real quick. So, that was Shanks telling the barkeep, I'm not gonna let this island be a battleground. Basically reassuring her, everything's gonna be fine. Shanks basically confident that him and the giants, they're wiping out Kid. Kid has no chance. Kid is dying. It is over for Kid. R.I.P. in peace, Bozo. That guy does not stand a chance. Also, Dory and Brogy and Oimo and Kashi are obviously part of the new giant pirates, which we've already seen are aligned with Luffy. So in a weird way, does this make Shanks temporarily allied with the Straw Hat Grand Fleet if they are part of the Grand Fleet ship? Because that opens up a world of repercussions, especially because Bartolomeo basically went to war with Shanks, selling the little Luffy pins in his territory. There's still more chapter. Let me read the rest of the chapter. We'll talk about it more in the review. I just find this very, very interesting that he's teaming up with Dory and Brogy in Elbaf, and that we're going to get this, and we're getting Kid versus Shanks. So fight me here and now, or leave your road poneglyph and flee. Make your choice. Okay, here we go. The Warland Elbaf in the New World. Already here. Dude. It seems the ships along the shore and the ones lazily shooting at us all belong to pirate crews working for Red Hair, the Emperor, with each one of them being known and feared. And you've got Kid and Killer and the other members of the crew there as well. The last time we never even got an audience with Red Hair himself. Instead, whoa, okay, so Shanks didn't even cut off his arm? Kid lost his arm to like an associate of Shanks. It wasn't even Shanks. Last time we never even got an audience with Red Hair. Instead we got beaten to a pulp and you lost your arm. Fwa 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 fwa. Fwa 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 fwa. They're not going to stop at an arm this time. Yo, and then, oh, Shanks. Stay away from them. Stay away from them. It's the captain. We've been dying to see you, Captain. And you too, Ben Beckman. You've got all the other characters around him. We wanted to pay our tribute. You know we don't do that. They won't stop at an arm this time, kid. They'll take your life. And Kid says, maybe so, but only if I lose. Kid versus Shanks. To be continued, and we're going on break, which is painful, but also needed, because I need the break so then we can do the emu art contest. But painful, considering the contents of this chapter are Shanks and Kid. Yo! One Piece manga chapter 1076 end. There is so much to go over here. I love this chapter. We're going to do a full review of this chapter. I want to sort of like sort my thoughts out. Thankfully, I've got a little bit of a break in which I can go back, reread certain things, and sort of, formulate my thoughts before we get into that review. And that is because this week's One Piece video is sponsored once again by my friends over at ZenPop. Massive shout out to ZenPop. This is the first sponsorship of the year. They actually wanted to do this with me last month, but it didn't happen because of the hack and everything like that. They have a really cool special box. So I'm going to play the message from ZenPop, and then we're going to continue, and I'm going to do my review of One Piece 1076. I am so excited to see what James did for the thumbnail. I feel like this is going to be a really, really good one. So give me a second. Let me pull this up. Let me set up this this little message from ZenPop. Hold on, give me a second. And then I will be right back with my review. So do not go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Whoop, hold on. All right, here we go. Give me 1 second. Shout out to the 2,000 plus people in here right now. Give me 1 second. We're gonna shout out to ZenPop and I will be right back. Okay, hopefully this works. Tell me this works. Okay, I think it did. Perfect. Today's stream is sponsored by my friends over at ZenPop. Now, if you don't already know what ZenPop is, well, in the words of Reggie Fils-Aimé, former president of Nintendo, what's wrong with you? ZenPop is Zen Market's monthly subscription box where you can get Japan-exclusive goodies shipped directly to your door straight from Osaka, Japan. And I'm actually really excited to open up this month's box because the theme this month is Ghibli nostalgia. As you can see, they already have a little picture of Luna dressed up like Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service in there, and all the different snacks are inspired by the works of Studio Ghibli. Now, obviously, I don't have time to sit down and eat everything in this month's box, but if you want a full detailed look at everything included in this March 2023 box, you can scan the QR code that's on screen right now and it'll take you to zenpop.jp and give you info on everything that's included this month. And one of the first things that stands out in this month's box is this specialty donburi chicken ramen, which obviously was included because of the ramen scene in Ponyo. Now, if you're familiar with the movie My Neighbor Totoro, this next snack might stand out to you as well. These are the little caramels that Satsuki gave her dad and her sister in that movie. These little Morinaga caramels are small, but they pack a mean punch. Delicious. Now, if you've been to Japan before, you know that Japan loves their specialty bread, so they also included this little special chocolate anpan. And this is another thing that I know for a fact comes from a Ghibli movie, because if you look at the Japanese movie poster for Kiki's Delivery Service, you'll notice these on the display counter. These little fruit-flavored jelly candies are originally from Castle in the Sky. They even included one of the little bomb rolls from the banquet scene in The Cat Returns. And something else that's immediately drawn my attention are the specialty matcha Kit Kats. Now, I've actually had these. I tried these for the first time on my trip to Japan back in 2019, which if you haven't watched my Japan vlogs, you can go check that out. There'll be a link somewhere in this video. And while I can't say I remember a specific Ghibli movie in which someone's eating Kit Kats, maybe there was like a scene in Spirited Away or something, I can tell you firsthand, these are delicious. This month's box is worth it just for these matcha Kit Kats alone. And I know I gotta record and I know I can't eat everything, but these are just too good. They smell delicious. It tastes like I'm eating a green tea frappuccino. Incredible. These are the best. Now, I'm pretty sure these onigiri senbei are also from Spirited Away. I'm pretty sure this is like one of Chihiro's favorite snacks from that movie. I particularly like the umami flavors in these. I've actually had these in a previous ZenPop as well, but I'm going to save these because I know that Reagan loves onigiri, and I know she'll kill me if I eat this whole bag. There's an Umaibo tasty stick from Pompoko in here too. I also get to try Japan's version of bugles for the first time. These are the little corn snacks that May likes in My Neighbor Totoro as well. And bugles are kind of like my go-to favorite road trip foods. These actually have a little more of a corn flavor than the ones that are in North America. They're excellent. I was sitting here looking at the rest of the stuff in the box while I'm recording and I realized I already ate half the bag. It goes to show how good it is. There's also these cute little crab-shaped biscuits, which if you've seen the movie The Borrower Arrietty, which is like a lesser-known Ghibli movie, it's very good. I talked about it on my favorite anime stream a couple weeks ago. These are in that movie. And last but not least, one of my favorite things in this month's box, mostly due to the fact that you could only get it this month in Japan right now. So if you don't live in Japan, you can never try this. These are the specialty lemon squish drinks that you might have seen in the movie Porco Rosso. And actually, fun fact, these little lemon squish drinks are made of 3 different types of lemon. Lemon paste, lemon puree, and lemon juice. So let's see if this is as lemony as it sounds. Here we go. First taste test ever. Let's see. Oh, it fizzed right in my nose. Oh yeah, that's good. That is really good. It's definitely more like lemony and citrusy than it is sweet, but it's super refreshing. I get why the pilots in Porco Rosso would drink this, because it'll definitely keep you awake. If you want to try one of these Ghibli nostalgia packs for yourself, they are only available this March on ZenPop.jp. But again, if you do want to order these, make sure to use promo code RogersBase, because it'll save you some yen on your order. Thank you once again to ZenPop for sponsoring today's live stream, and I am definitely going to finish this bag of corn chips and also have some more Kit Kats. I didn't realize my audio wasn't back on. Okay, we're good. My audio's back on. Let's talk about One Piece 1076, because there is a lot of stuff to go over here. First and foremost, I saw somebody bringing this up during the break in the chat. Also, I'm not muted anymore. I know we're not muted. You guys don't have to tell me. I know I already got it. I'm good. First thing I want to bring up. Apparently, Ben Beckman is the one that cut off Kid's arm. When did they ever say that? Because I was looking back, I saw the chat mentioning that Ben Beckman was the one that cut Kid's arm off, but I didn't see that in this. So I don't know where people are getting that Ben Beckman cut off his arm. Unless it was something that happened in a previous chapter that I just like completely missed. Or you guys are just assuming it. Which is, I think, a fine assumption, right? That he might have sent Ben Beckman or Lucky Roo or something to go after him. But I don't really know. The fact that it says last time we never even got an audience with Red Hair himself, though, kind of implies to me that they wouldn't have even seen any of the main commanders, that they would have just fought like one of the fodder crews or something like that. Some of you guys say you think it was the monkey. Check Lucky Roo's panel again. All right, let me check Lucky Roo's panel. Let's see. This is page 12. Our enemy must be furious. I think, oh, I see it. So it is implied that Beckman cut off Kid's arm then. So on page 13, when they're talking about the fight with Kid, it says here, our enemy must be furious. And Roo saying, I see, because he's referencing Beck, saying, that's rich coming from you, Beck. I mean, who do you think he's mad at? Okay, now I get where people are saying this. Okay, so yeah, Kid is probably super pissed at Beckman for being the one that cut off his arm. That's actually really, really good. I'm glad somebody brought that up. I'm glad that people in the chat mentioned that, because I definitely would have missed that. Also, I saw people saying, whoa, nice haircut earlier on during the stream. I recorded that ZenPop thing last week before I got my recent haircut, and I'm glad, because I needed it. I rewatched that ZenPop thing. My hair was like all over the place. So much needed haircut. Okay, there's a lot to go over. I want to go back to what I just mentioned at the end of my reaction at the very beginning of my review this week, which is this whole thing with the Giants and being in Elbaf and Shanks being here and Kid being here. Now, after the last couple chapters, I had assumed that when Oda was talking about that person will fight that person and I hope no one dies, I had assumed he was talking about a clash on Egghead. But now that we're here, I kind of feel like this final panel with Shanks and with Kid, and Killer saying, look, they're not going to stop at an arm this time, and Kid saying, maybe so. After Killer says they'll take your life, and he goes, maybe so, but only if I lose. I'm kind of thinking Oda's comments are regarding Shanks and Kid. But I really, truly hope that this does not get off-screened. I really want to see, just like we did with Blackbeard and the Blackbeard Pirates and Law and the Heart Pirates, I really want to see the red-haired pirates and Kid. Because we already had a situation in which they off-screened the stuff with the red-haired pirates and with Kid. And again, even if Shanks wasn't there and it was just Beckman, I would have really have loved to see that. Now, I don't think Kid is dying. I don't see a situation in which Oda would kill Kid. And so, I almost feel like this is Oda's opportunity to show after Wano, with Kid and Law being the ones to take down Big Mom, that Kid has really grown since his last encounter. And I would love, 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 love to see Kid use some awesome attacks, to see more of the Kid pirates as well. Because, you know, I brought this up during Wano too. I feel like beyond Killer and beyond Kid, I can't really name any of the other Kid pirates. Like, I could point them out, but I don't really know any of their names. And I don't think that's my fault for not paying attention. I think Oda hasn't really even focused on any of them other than Kid and Killer. So I think this is the opportunity to really like showcase the other members of the Kid Pirates and have them do things and show something. Wire, I do actually know Wire. I know Wire because Wire is in the One Piece TCG. He's like a common card. You're right. I know Wire as well. But the other ones, like, I don't know. I don't really know and I don't really care about. And so I want to see more of them doing things against the red-haired pirates. I want to actually like Kid's crew. Because right now, Kid's crew, even compared to the Heart Pirates, like I know Penguin and Shachi and John Bart and Beppo, the Kid Pirates overall have seemed kind of mid comparatively. And I'm just excited to see what Killer and Kid will do. And then also, we've seen from Wano Country now, I feel like Killer is really coming to his own, right? Killer in that scene against Hawkins, Killer being present during Roof Piece. I mean, he was up there with Zoro. He was fighting Kaido on Roof Piece. So I feel like Killer's going to do something really cool whenever we end up seeing the Shanks Pirates versus the Kid Pirates once again. I don't know who Killer's opponent will be. I would love to see like Killer versus Lucky Roo. I think would be really cool. Obviously, Killer's not going to be the one to fight Yasop. I'm excited. This whole thing gets me so excited for the premise of like what Elbaf could be, because that's the other thing that we kind of like skimmed right by. This is taking place in Elbaf. Like, are we not going to get an Elbaf arc? I've had this debate with multiple people on multiple One Piece live streams, and I don't know anymore, because if we're getting this, if we're getting Shanks and Kid in Elbaf, meanwhile Luffy and the rest of them are dealing with this stuff on Egghead Island, do we not go to Elbaf? I feel like we need to. I feel like we need to go to Elbaf at the very least for Usopp, so Usopp can have the moment with the Giants. But at the same time, if we're making our way through this final saga, and we have to keep things moving, and Luffy and the rest of them have to escape with Vegapunk, and we've got all this stuff going on with Egghead, with Saturn, and Kizaru, and the different punks, and Lucci, and Kaku, I don't know, maybe we don't have time to go. Or we go, and this is all set up for the eventual, like, Davy back fight or something with the Shanks crew. But then that would mean that Shanks will have already have to have taken down Kid. I don't know, man. I don't, or Shanks and the Giants and the rest of them fight the Kid Pirates. Shanks takes Kid into custody, and then Luffy, in his Davy back fight against Shanks, tries to get Kid. And if that happens, that would be kind of hype, because really, we had a lot of good moments with Law. We had a lot of good moments with Law and Dressrosa. For basically the first half of the New World, like, I feel like Law was essentially one of the Straw Hats, and we really didn't get that moment with Kid. And I think we kind of need to see Kid. And I don't see a situation ever, despite what happened in Wano, in which Kid can beat Shanks right now. I don't see that happening, especially with the Giants, especially with the full force of the Red Hair Pirates. He straight up says, do you want to fight me here and now, or leave your road poneglyph with me and flee? Shanks is going for the gold. Shanks wants the One Piece right now. So I don't see a situation in which Kid is coming out of this unscathed. I don't. I think he might impress us. I think Kid might do more than many of us are expecting for him to do against Shanks and the other red hair pirates. But I think all of the giants, plus the rest of Shanks' crew versus Kid, I don't see a situation in which Kid comes out of this. I really don't. And he already lost his arm to Beckman, like, I don't know. How many of them were with Kid before? I don't see this happening. Again, I think Kid will put up a fight, right? I think Kid could actually do some damage maybe, or take out one of Shanks' commanders and prove to Shanks that he's not to be messed with. But the second it comes to Shanks, I think it's all over. I don't see a situation in which he'll be able to take him out. Also, this thing here with the kid that's at the bar, is this a character that we've seen before? I am not sure. I also like how they're paralleling the beginning of the series with like the barkeep and the little kid and Luffy and Makino. I love all of this. And there's a lot of stuff here too. Shanks, we're getting a lot of lines from Shanks in this chapter. Shanks saying, think I spent a bit too much time talking, but you can't blame us for wanting to catch up when old friends who we thought each other dead are reunited. Is there going to be a war? And he says, I won't let this island be a battleground. So I'm wondering if they're going to take it to the sea outside of Elbaf. Because it says here, Warland, Elbaf, New World. It seems the ships along the shore and the ones lazily shooting at us all belong to the pirate crews. So part of me is thinking they're going to sail off. Shout out, by the way, to Andrew Dittman for the $100 donation. Thank you very, very much. I will absolutely read that in a second when we get to the super chats and the donation questions. Thank you very, very much, Andrew Dittman. $100. Unbelievable. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Andrew. Wow. Viram's in here as well saying, I'm late, but I am here. Viram, you came for a good chapter. Let me tell you, is everybody else in the house awake already? Or is it just you? Viram, I would say in the Japan Time house right now, put me on the big screen. I'll talk to all of you about One Piece. This was a fire chapter. All right, wait. The other thing I want to bring up, going back to what I mentioned during my initial reaction, this thing with Dory and Broggy and Oimo and Kashi. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Were they not part of Harudin's crew? In fact, I'm gonna type this in right now. Hold on. Haruden Grand Fleet One Piece. Because I could have sworn that Dory and Broggy were part of Harudin's crew in the Straw Hat Grand Fleet, the 6th ship. The New Giant Pirates or whatever. Here we go. New Giant Warrior Pirates. Oh no, I guess they're not. Wait a minute. Why did I think Oimo and Kashi and Dory and Broggy were with them? The crew consists of 5 members. Okay, Gerd and Rode and Goldberg and Stanson and Haruden. And they had their temporary affiliation with Buggy's delivery service. But I guess Dory and Broggy and Oimo and Kashi had nothing to do with that. Okay. So then my whole idea where I said, you know, what would this mean for the Straw Hat Grand Fleet? You could throw that out the window. Because obviously they are not allied. Okay. I'm glad that I looked that up. Because for some reason in my brain, I thought they were. But okay. Because they're the OG Giant Warriors. And now we've got the new Giant Warriors. And they're here on Elbaf and they're chilling with Shanks. Dude, man. And this is... I've been talking about all this. There's still so much other stuff to go over in this. Again, page 10, page 11. We're seeing these other Cypher Pool members here. The other Cypher Pool members who came to look into our disappearance ended up in the same situation. You'll forgive us if we assume that you were the one behind this. And Vegapunk is there. Dr. Vegapunk, I'm sorry I had no idea. To think all of this is happening on Egghead right under my nose. That means trouble, and it explains one other thing, that there shouldn't have been any other way for the government to find out about the poneglyph research happening here. So a lot of stuff about poneglyphs in this chapter. And 100 ships. I think we breezed by this. This is crucially important. Base G9 is left port. It puts the total fleet headed for Egghead at 100 ships in total, including Kizaru and Saturn. So this is going to be a major deal on Egghead Island. And now we've got the freed Lucci and the freed Kaku and Luffy and Zoro and the other Straw Hats and the other Vegapunks. And potentially like Saturn running around, messing things up. The Seraphim running around here. Like, where is this going? There is so much to this chapter. Also, like, the action panels this chapter, 10 out of 10. I feel like Oda did a really, really good job with the action panels this week with Luffy and Lucci, the Six King pistol, the Kong gun slamming into the wall, the characters flying backwards. Tempest Kick, White Thunder, Mihawk, the thing with Seraphim Mihawk as well, having Mr. One's Devil Fruit power. Yo! Having the power of the Dice Fruit. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. And even like the little thing that was going on with Lucci and Kaku mentioning to him, like, don't say this to his face, Lucci, come on, I presume you've got something in store for Stussy as well, and Lucci saying she's gonna pay the price, and Kaku literally saying, are you trying to ruin this for us? Like, I do wonder if Lucci is now disillusioned completely. And it's the kind of thing that he's dealt with the government too many times. Obviously, he's got the rivalry with Luffy. He mentioned, if anyone's going to kill you, I want to be the one to do it. But I'm also wondering, because I think Kaku is a yes man. I think Kaku's going to follow wherever Lucci is going. Like, I'm wondering if Lucci just straight up leaves the government now at this point, especially if he sees the other government agencies are there investigating, and CP5 and CP7 and CP8 are there. And they've been thrown in jail. There's just so many moving parts. 100 ships at Egghead Island. Lucci is freed. The other government agencies are thrown into the lab prison thing. They've been there for 2 months with Vegapunk. And then meanwhile on Elbaf, we've got war breaking out between Shanks and Kid. And it's not even war because Shanks says, I will not make Elbaf a battleground. Meaning that all of this is probably going to take place on the seas outside of Elbaf. This is a fire chapter. Genuinely so unbelievably good. See, this brings back to something that I wanted to mention last week. I saw so many people in the comment section of last week's chapter going, oh, Roger, this wasn't a mid-chapter. What are you talking about? Like, this was a phenomenal chapter. No, shut up. Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. Because if you compare this chapter to last week's chapter, this is so much better. Like, so much better. If this chapter is like a 10 out of 10, and you compare this to last week's chapter, I wasn't saying that last week's chapter was bad. I was saying that comparatively to other chapters in Egghead, last week's chapter was mid. Because if every chapter is peak, like this one, with Shanks and Kid and Lucci being freed and 100 ships going to Egghead, and you try to compare that to like a regular overall setup chapter of Wano, again, mid is not bad. I need people to remove the idea that mid equals bad. Mid is not bad. Mid is average. Mid is fine. I wasn't over here talking until I was blue in the face saying, oh, 1075 was mid, implying it was bad. I was saying that it was middling. I was saying that it was average because compared to every other chapter in the Egghead Island arc, and especially this chapter this week, it was mid. That's all it is. It's not bad. People need to take mid out of their vocabulary as bad because it is not bad. It means what it means. It means mid. And all these Oda defenders saying, oh no, every chapter's amazing because Oda's a god, whatever. You're a bunch of loser weenies, all right? Remove it. A chapter can be mid, a chapter could be fine, and a chapter could be good. This chapter is good, okay? Straight up. Objectively, there's no one who can argue this with me. No one. This chapter is objectively better than last week's chapter. And if you're a One Piece fan and you're saying that it's not, I feel like you're lying to me. And you're entitled to your own opinion, but I feel like you're being a contrarian just to be against RogersBase, which is fine. You're still giving me views because you're watching this video if you're seeing me make this statement. So obviously you're a fan in some capacity, and thank you for giving me your money. But overall, I'm right. I don't see a situation in which I'm not right here. Chapter was fire. Absolutely fire. Lucci and Luffy and Kaku and Zoro and Kid and Shanks and the Giants and Elbaf and a fleet of 100 coming to Egghead and where Vegapunk is, bro. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Fantastic, fantastic chapter this week. I'm coming down from this. I was getting too excited talking about that review. The art, too, like, I gotta go back to this as well. I'm sorry, I'm excited. The art on the color page right here, where it says One Piece, and you've got, like, that cute outfit for Robin and Nami, and the framing of the whole thing. Like, this is really a really good color spread. I feel like because there was so much other good stuff in this chapter that people aren't going to talk about the color spread as much. But, like, dude, the color spread is phenomenal this week. This is definitely one of his best in recent memory. Like, without a doubt. I think the last time I really loved a color spread this much was in Wano. Or was it Wano or Whole Cake? Where we got that really cool one where it was, like, all white, red, and black, and it was, like, in the winter forest. That one was amazing. I think that is, like, still one of my all-time favorite color spreads, but this is also an all-time favorite, mostly because I really like their outfits here. Like, all of their outfits here. Sanji's fit, Zoro's fit, Brook's fit, Jinbei's fit, everybody's fit looks good. This is all stuff that I would wear in real life. The framing is nice. I also love, like, the little sketch of the Straw Hat Pirates in the bottom corner. Gorgeous. Frankie doing this. Tanami with their legs up. Fantastic. Really fantastic chapter. And the stuff with Mihawk and Kuma and, like, seeing them fight together and potentially what it means for Lucci to be disillusioned and Lucci being free with Luffy. Luffy not even going Gear 5, straight up going Gear 4. Like, I feel like it's been a minute since the last time we saw Gear 4, because I was shocked at how quickly Luffy went into Gear 5 against Lucci, but I guess that goes to show that when Luffy was fighting Lucci, he wasn't holding anything back. He knew that Lucci was a threat. He remembered Lucci from way back when with Eni's Lobby, and was like, look, I can't let this happen again. Gear 5, going all out, especially because Lucci had Awakening. But obviously, like the Seraphim, Luffy doesn't see them as opponents worthy of Gear 5 here, if he's going Gear 4 with the Kong gun. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. I love this one. I really love this one. Pacing was phenomenal in this one. The art was really good. Oda was in his bag this week. The stuff with the Giants, the lines, like that line, after Killer goes, instead we got beaten to a pulp and you lost your arm. And Kid says, and the way it's juxtaposed with Shanks being hugged by everyone on the island, where Kid says they won't stop at an arm. Killer says they won't stop at an arm this time. They'll take your life. And the Kid responding with, maybe so, while laughing, but only if I lose. Straight into that shot of Shanks. Perfect. Perfect. Meaning Kid really believes he's got a shot. And I feel like that's kind of hype. I feel like him teaming up with Law and taking down Big Mom in Wano Country has given him, like, the boost of confidence that he needs. But again, I don't see a situation in which Kid comes out of this unscathed. I don't think he's going to lose another arm, but I could see this potentially leading and going in a bunch of different situations, and I'm sure people are going to bring it up in the comment section today. I'm sure people brought it up in their donation questions as well. We're going to get to all those a little bit later. Don't you worry about a thing. I'm sure they have theories of where this is going. But to me personally, I feel like I see a situation in which Shanks would capture Kid. Like, in which Shanks takes the rubbing of the poneglyph and then maybe captures the Kid pirates. And then after after Egghead, Luffy comes to Elbaf. Usopp has his moment with the Giants. Luffy sees that Kid was captured by Shanks and somehow says, like, free my friend Kid or something. He helped me out in Wano Country, and Shanks is like, I can't do that. And Luffy's like, fine, I'll fight you for him. Like, I could see that maybe being set up for where we're going right now. I don't know, man. This is fire. I love this. I really love. I didn't think we were going to get this quick. I thought this would be after the stuff on Egghead. Because this paired with the stuff going on with Blackbeard, like, I think people are forgetting Law versus Blackbeard and the Blackbeard Pirates and Kuzan and Pudding. That all happened in Egghead as well. So we've got Law, Garp, Kobe, Blackbeard, and the Heart Pirates and Pudding on One War on Full Lead Island. We've got Shanks and Kid on Elbaf. We've got Luffy and Lucci on Egghead with the Vegapunks. Like, we're seeing war like we've never seen before. Like, massive, all-out war with all three of the major supernovas, with Kid and with Law and with Luffy. I love this. I love this a lot. Wow. Okay. Incredible chapter this week. 10 out of 10, like I said. I love this. We have so much stuff to get through, though. I have so many super chat questions, so many theories. We haven't even seen James's art yet, so let me pull this up. Hold on. Let me open this up. Let me also make sure that I don't have the manga panels on screen because I will get copyright claimed. Let me pull up this art from James. Here we go. James. Also, I got my Twitch chat doubling over here. Hold on, let me remove my Twitch chat from the screen. This right here is one of the best ones you've ever done. Far and away. Dude, look at the lighting on this. Dory and Broggy in the background. He even left a little space for my face. Actually, James, one thing, because we're going to be talking about this for a while. James, one quick thing. Could you send me the layer with Dory and Broggy and their faces, and then the layer with Shanks, so I could put my face between Dory and Broggy's in the clouds looking down on Shanks? This art is gorgeous. Absolutely, positively gorgeous. Look at the lighting on Shanks' face. You've got the red hair flowing in the wind, Dory and Broggy in the background. I also appreciate that you left out Oimo and Kashi, because I also don't really like them all that much. But I love Dory and Broggy, and I love seeing them together. This is stunning, like actually stunning. You should sell this. Like, I know James will usually take the best thumbnails and turn them into stickers. This is one you should sell, definitely. You do not miss. This is gorgeous. Wow. Wow. I love this. I love the framing. I love the sunlight coming off of them. I love the little sheen on Dory and Broggy's helmets. The little beard on Shanks as well. Oh, dude. The colorization, I think, is really nice, too. Like, you use really nice saturation and brightness. It's going to pop when people see it in their sub boxes. Gorgeous. Also, Shanks looks like he's been in the gym a little bit. You made his pecs look real nice. His neck game is on point. Dritz would be happy. You got the coat going in the background as well. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. It definitely is giving me Viking vibes for sure. James, you killed it. You absolutely positively killed it this week. Wow. I have to pull up your artist comments. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me see this. Let me pull up your artist comments. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Whoa, okay, you left a lot this week. Wait, give me a second. Hold on. Whoa. All right, let me see this. James says, I hope I don't take up too much of your stream, Roger. Don't worry about it. This is content, James. We like when we hear from you. This is perfect. Look at this. All right. This marks my 1 year officially as being your thumbnail artist. Technically, it's tomorrow. The upload date of my first art for you was chapter 1041, which debuted on February 27th, 2022. And with that, I quit. Just kidding. Please don't fire me. I was about to say, please do not quit. Your stuff is phenomenal. You've done an amazing job, James. Please do not quit. I need you. Don't leave me, James. Wow, I didn't realize it's already been a full year. Dude, James, thank you once again for everything you've done. Really, like, your artwork is impeccable. I look forward to looking at it every stream. I know the chat looks forward to it as well. I also love when you implemented these artist comments. I think it's so much fun. Thank you for not leaving me. I will not fire you, James. I am very grateful for this opportunity. I've enjoyed my time spent with your community so far. I've received nothing but warm welcomes and love from everyone. Nakama, yo, the Mammoth Boys are real. Thank you, everybody, for being nice to James. From the live streams to people who've come to see me at conventions and Artist Alley. People have supported me in my online store and everything. Thank you all so much. I hope to continue to make thumbnail art that will entertain you all. This is sweet, James. Roger, as technically my boss, I will say you are definitely the best boss I've ever had. You are my Nakama, and I am proud to be aboard your crew. James! Nakama, man! Very, very sweet. That is very kind of you, James. Thank you very, very much. That is very nice. Thank you, man. That's very, very sweet. You talked about this before, and you don't have to do this. That means we're definitely going to do this, because I don't know your stream schedule or whatever, but I created a tier list so you can rank my thumbnails so far. Yes, we're doing this for sure. We're not going to do, okay, we're going to do this at the end of the stream though. Or we could do this while I'm answering donations and super chats. That might be kind of fun, because people have short attention spans nowadays. I feel like we need something fun going on screen when I'm going over some of these super chats. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to do this on stream today. We're going to pull this up right now. We're going to rank all your thumbnails. It's going to be gorgeous. I guess technically this will reveal which thumbnails you hate, but oh well, I could take the criticism. I don't hate any of your thumbnails. Your thumbnails were great. There's a couple I could think of where you went a little wild and you went a little overboard, but we'll talk about it. Now, meanwhile, for this week's thumbnail, oh my gosh, there's still so much more, bro! James went all out with the artist comments. Yo, for this week's thumbnail, there were a lot of options. I really liked the Luffy and Lucci double Kong gun, and then Kid challenging Shanks seemed cool. But for me, the return of Dory and Broggy was my favorite, because I originally probably saw them when I watched One Piece in 2001. It's like a sweet slice of my childhood for me. I spent extra time on this thumbnail, not just because it's my 1 year, but because, well, I don't know why. I just think it looked cool. It did. It looked phenomenal. Again, this is one of your best. I think when we go through the thumbnail rankings, this is going to be incredibly high. Really, 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 really great work, James. Really great work. Let me see. One last thing. Oh, one last thing. I've decided to do a giveaway of the RogersBase stickers that I made. Okay, James! This includes Gear 5 Luffy, Yamato's L, the Yamato Portrait, Uta, the Cross Guild Polaroid, Mihawk vs. Zoro, Female Law and Beppo, Law Momonosuke, the infamous Lilith thumbnail, that's the one I'm thinking of that might have to go lower, Lo-Fi Yamato Reverie mini thumbnail, and the Bonnie Luffy Chopper Desserts thumbnail. There's a preview in the assets folder along with a special graphic as well. Okay, wait, let me pull this up. Dude, you left so much in this. To enter, I'm just going to make people like and RT a tweet that I will post after the live stream, or I'll try to time the posting as you read this. Okay, let me see this. Let me pull this up. Hold on. Where is this? Assets. Starred, shared with me, James. James. Where are these? Thumbnail art by James. Okay, bonus PNG. Are these the ones that are in there? 1076. Oh, 1076 assets. I see. Oh, where you put the front and the back. Oh, perfect. You already split it up for me for the thumbnail. Thank you. Surprise 1 year anniversary. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, I'll let you tweet this. Oh, this is really, really cool. Oh, look at this. Okay. Wait, let me download this. Dude, I love this. Okay. Let me open this up. He did like a little giveaway preview thing. And it's a picture of the stickers that he's doing for the giveaway. Look at this. There's the Gear 5 Luffy. There's the infamous Zoro Mihawk one from the video I did last year about Conqueror's Hockey. There's the version of Lilith where I thought she was naked. Bruh. Uta up there as well. Yamato's L. Yo, these are beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you once again, James, for doing this giveaway. Greatly appreciate it. Nakama. Everyone go follow James. Kentaro PJJ. The absolute GOAT. I love this. I absolutely love this. Dude, James, you went above and beyond this week. This is really, really nice. All right. Thank you once again, everybody, for your support. Also, I hope it's not too expensive to ship, but I'm going to try to leave this giveaway open to everyone and not just people in the US. So this is for my international audience. Go follow James. There's a link in the description to James's Twitter. Go retweet that tweet. He's doing a giveaway. Shout out to you, James. Incredible. The age where pirate dreams is over? People's dreams never end. Marshall D. Teach James. P.S. Roger, what is your favorite One Piece quote? You already know. When does a man die? When he's eaten a poisoned mushroom? No. A man dies only when he is forgotten. Dr. Hiluluk, Drum Island, one of my favorite quotes in all of One Piece. Absolutely love that line. James, you went above and beyond this week. Happy 1-year anniversary, James. Lovely. Great work this week. Phenomenal. Thank you once again for everything. What an absolute GOAT. Okay, now, before we pull up this thumbnail tier list thing, I want to read a couple of the super chats, and then we're going to go through some of the other ones while we're ranking the thumbnail. So bear with me for a second when I pull this up. James, you're a beast, man. This is really nice. Also, hold on, while we're here, I'm going to temporarily replace the thumbnail with today's stream. Hold on, let me go over here. Live. I'm going to replace the thumbnail with the first version that you did with Shanks and Dorian Broggy, because this is really pretty. I love this. Oh, it says the file is too big. Oh, I have to make this a smaller file size. All right, so I won't change this just yet, but I will change it over when the stream is over. Yo, okay. Let me go back. We have so many super chats. I have so many things I got to get through on this stream. There's so many good things I want to do. I told you, this is what happens when you got a good chapter, because this chapter is just, this is phenomenal. This is a great one. Okay, let me open this up again. Tier Maker. I love that you already did this too. I love this. James, you're the best. You're the best. You already made it. I don't have to actually put in the work. This is great. This is great. Okay. Where do I begin with some of these super chats? We have so many this week. We're already an hour into the stream and I haven't even started super chats yet. That's how you know this chapter was good. Okay. Where do I start? Let's go all the way back at the very beginning. Hold on. Where did this start? Okay. This one starts with Naruto Toad Sage, who donated $10 and said, unfortunately, I can't stay for today's stream, but I was wondering if you'd be able to check out the foreshadowing of Buggy's future if Luffy becomes King of the Pirates at the end of Chapter 17. Sure, I'll pull that up right now. The end of Chapter 17, the foreshadowing. Actually, hold on. It's easier for me to just go grab the physical volume. Give me 1 second. Chapter 17. Here we go. Let me see here. Where is it? Should be over here. This is chapter 12, 13. Man, the chapters were long back in the day. Okay. 19, 17, 17, 17. This is 18. All right, so this is at the end. Let me see. Hurry up and attack me. All right, let me see. Don't be a fool. If you're king of the pirates, then what am I? God of the pirates? I don't know if that's necessarily foreshadowing. I don't think Buggy is going to be God of the pirates. And Luffy says, all right, hurry up and attack me. I'm getting bored. And Buggy says, you're going to regret your words, Rubber Boy. You and your straw hat remind me of him when he was younger. The insolent dog with the red hair. And Luffy's like, red hair? And that's the end of the chapter. Also, I didn't even realize this was a thing. They had to cut out Luffy in the volume? Yeah, I don't think Buggy's gonna be God of the pirates. Though then again, we've got God Usopp. So maybe there's a situation in Final War in which people call him God Buggy. It could happen. It could happen. Good thing to point out. Thank you, Naruto Toad Sage. All right. We have Chris Tash donating, saying, I feel like Kid's backstory is on its way because him as a child has a wrench. So maybe that has a Mads connection, and maybe Vegapunk will recognize him at Elbaf. That's kind of cool. I would like some kind of connection between Elbaf and Vegapunk and Kid. I think that'd be kind of cool. That guy super chatted, said R.I.P. to Kid. Vanitas's manga reviews super chatted and said, I'm absolutely heartbroken by PPP getting axed, but your stream today is making me feel better, Roger. Nakama! Now, excuse me, I'm gonna go cry now. Please don't cry. We're having a lovely Sunday. We're talking about this beautiful One Piece chapter. Please, I beg of you, don't cry. I don't want you to cry. Please don't cry. We've got, let's see, May super chatting saying, do you think that Law versus Blackbeard and Kid versus Shanks is just a way to delay until Egghead is done? I can't imagine that either of them take either down. I don't think it's necessarily a way of delaying what's going on in Egghead. I think it's a way for Oda to show that so many really important things are happening in so many different locations. We've got the Law front with Blackbeard. You've got the Luffy front on Egghead. You've got the Kid front on Elbaf with Shanks and Blackbeard and the world government. And potentially Saturn, right? Like you've got one of the Gorosei with Luffy as well. So there's a lot of major things happening at once. And again, you got to remember, we are in the final saga of One Piece now. This is it. We are here. So I don't know. I mean, really anything can happen at this point. But I don't necessarily see it as a way of delaying. I see it as a way of Oda telling the story of all three at the same time and actually showing us what is going on while still keeping the pacing of it being a final saga, right? Which I prefer. I like that. I like having multiple story arcs going on at the same time and us jumping all over the place. I actually think it's kind of cool. And I am also with you, May, in the chat saying it's crazy to wonder which one is going to wrap up first. I agree. Really, really great stuff. Brandon Olea with the $20 super chat saying, Roger, it's been a while. I love your Fire Emblem streams. Do you think that Saul will interrupt the fight with Kid and Shanks? Yes, I think there's a likelihood for that. Yeah. Because we know that Kid and Killer are looking to meet up with the guy with the burn scar. They're in Elbaf. Obviously, Saul is the guy with the burn scar. So yeah, maybe something could happen with Saul. That would be interesting. Why would he choose to intervene, though? Because it seemed to me that Killer and Kid and the rest of them wanted to get information from Saul. So why would Saul step in and stop Shanks? I don't know. I do think you're onto something in which Saul might find his way into all of this. But I don't know if he's going to stop Shanks. Like, why would he? There's no reason for him to stop Shanks. Unless maybe there's like something that's in the books of the Library O'Hara that are there on Elbaf right now that say something related to Kid or like a premonition or something. And it's like, oh, we should wait, hear this Kid out. I don't know. But we do know that he's on Elbaf, and we do know that Kid has some type of conversation that he wants to have with Saul. There's some type of communication going on there. But I don't know why Shanks, I don't know. But I'm right there with you that I think Saul will be involved in some way with the scuffle between Kid and Shanks. I just don't know in what capacity. But yes. Good thing to point out as well. With everything going on in this chapter, a lot of other stuff we could focus on. I'm glad you brought that up. David Ortiz coming through with a super chat saying Shanks cannot low or mid-diff Kid. Law, Luffy, and Kid definitely deserve the respect. Kaido and Big Mom couldn't low diff them, and so neither could Shanks. I'm not saying low diff, but I do think Shanks is another level above Kaido and Big Mom. He always kind of has been to me. And I'm excited to see what Kid is going to do. I'm excited to see Kid actually prove himself to be a powerful character. Shout out, by the way, to Tempt6T, donating $50, saying it's weird that in a Vegapunk-related arc, the Revolutionary Army still somehow manages to be the least involved. I feel like their involvement will lie in one of their members being a traitor and the one who leaked Vegapunk's research to the world government. Interesting take, Tempt6. Interesting take. I do also wonder why the Revolutionary Army isn't as involved with the Egghead arc, considering the fact that Dragon was on the phone with Vegapunk in the beginning of the story arc, and Vegapunk and him were like, look, now might be the time to make the move. So maybe the reason they're not there at Egghead is because they're going somewhere else. Maybe with all of these government ships protecting Egghead, and a bunch of them having to go over to deal with the Shanks and Kid thing, and a bunch of them having to go over like Garp ship to go deal with Blackbeard and Kobe and Law, that doesn't leave a giant fleet. So maybe now is the time to strike. Maybe Dragon and the rest of them go, look, one of the Gorosei is gone. Let's go to Marijoa right now. Let's kill them all. And maybe that's going to be the fourth front. Maybe the Revolutionary Army shows up at Marijoa now while they're not really protected because the Navy is split up dealing with the Luffy situation, the Kid situation, the Law situation, and Dragon is talking to Vegapunk and was like, you're right, now is the time to strike. You're right. The Navy's not here. There's 100 ships and Kizaru and a member of the Gorosei off at Egghead. You've got Garp, the hero of the Marines, along with Kobe and all these other Marines that are over there as well, dealing with the stuff with Blackbeard, and there's probably going to be a fleet that's going to go deal with the stuff with Kids. So now might be the time. Maybe the reason we didn't end up seeing them is because Dragon and the rest of them are going to go to Marijoa and finally make their move. That's what all this means. Dragon versus Akainu, maybe? I don't know. Fujitora, where's Fujitora right now? We know Kizaru is with Saturn. Where's Fujitora? Is Fujitora still in Marijoa? Fujitora versus Sabo 2.0, what's going on? Sabo obviously wasn't wiped out from the attack on Lulucia. He's probably off in the distance somewhere doing his own thing. When is Sabo going to make his move again? Dude, I don't know. But that is very exciting to think about. I love that topic of the Revolutionary Army and why haven't they been here. And obviously they had the communication with Vegapunk in the beginning of the story arc. I'm rubbing my hands. Things are getting exciting. A Marijoa raid while the Marines are busy somewhere else would be perfect. I love the idea that Dragon is showing up to Marijoa while the rest of the Marines are split up doing their own thing with the other supernovas. I dig it. I love that a lot. I really, really do. Good call. Good call, Tempt. Let me see. Ace super chatted, saying, considering Kid was one of the ones responsible for taking down Big Mom, I really don't think the Giants are going to interfere in their fight. Well, maybe they won't then. There you go. Amirul Tempest super chatted and said, Law versus Blackbeard and Kid versus Shanks. Maybe next will be Luffy versus Buggy. I still think, I brought this up during my stream, was it last week or the week before? I think Luffy versus the Cross Guild will happen at some point. Because I think that's going to be our Zoro Mihawk setup. I think Sanji Crocodile, and I think Luffy and Buggy, and obviously Luffy will wash Buggy, but it's going to be a good moment, right? To see the Cross Guild clashing. And I think Sanji Crocodile is a great fight, and Zoro versus Mihawk has to happen. So I think the fight with Buggy and the Cross Guild is inevitable. The question is, how stacked is the Cross Guild going to be before we see them again? Because this was brought up on another recent live stream when I was talking with Brago on, was that Monday or Tuesday, about the power scaling thing. Because what if Cross Guild goes back to Impel Down to free Doflamingo, the other Don Quixote pirates, King, Queen, who were already temporarily kind of allied with Doflamingo in the setup with Dressrosa, Weevil, all the other characters that are captured and Impel Down right now, and we get Cross Guild initiating the Impel Down breakout instead of Luffy, and Crocodile was there the first time, he knows how to do it, and Cross Guild teams up with the other people at Impel Down, and that is the front that gets brought into the final war, and that's how we get all those other characters, Bon Clay, Doflamingo, Weevil, all the characters that have been captured by the government time and time again, that have been set up in other chapters, that brings them all back into the fray, and somehow they're all involved in the Cross Guild, and that brings them to the final war. I love that idea. I think that is a super cool idea. I love the fact, and that would also like bolster Cross Guild even more, because I'm not saying that I think Shanks is going down in Elbaf or whatever. I have no doubt Kid is not going to beat Shanks completely, but I do think there is a likelihood that after Egghead we maybe go to Elbaf, we have some type of confrontation with Shanks, and that confrontation is the last of the Yonko fights before we get to Blackbeard and Buggy at the end. And that Buggy and the Blackbeard fight and all that stuff goes down in the same location at the end. Like somehow, because I don't think I'm making much sense. Let me sort of explain what I mean. Like the Kid Shanks stuff gets dealt with, and the Law Blackbeard Garp stuff gets dealt with, and the Egghead Luffy stuff gets dealt with. And then all three of these major skirmishes kind of converge in one massive resolution that culminates in Shanks being in the same place, Blackbeard being in the same place, Buggy being in the same place, and Luffy being in the same place, right? Because really, that's it. Right now, we're dealing with because we're talking about it from the Supernova perspective of Luffy and Law and Kid. But I think it's even more important to discuss all of this split in the perspective of the new Yonko, which is that Luffy, as one of the Yonko, is dealing with Egghead. Blackbeard, as one of the Yonko, is dealing with the Marines and Law. Shanks, as one of the Yonko, is dealing with Kid. And Buggy, we don't know what's going on right now. So that's why I think Buggy and the Cross Guild could maybe be dealing with Impel Down and breaking out those other members of Impel Down. And then all of the resolution of all of these characters now, they're going to play a role in the final war, comes together at a head in the final war. And that's what brings all this together, which then, as much as it pains me to say it, maybe means we might skip Elbaf. That Luffy and Usopp and the rest of them don't go to Elbaf, and that maybe Usopp and his moment with the Giants happens at the final war. And that his reunion with Dory and Broggy and the rest of them happens at the final war when they see Shanks again. And actually doesn't physically happen on Elbaf. Because, I mean, think of all the stuff that still has to happen. I don't know. Unless, after Luffy escapes with Vegapunk, that they beeline for Elbaf, see the resolution of what happened with Shanks and Kid, and then Luffy has the Davy back fight or whatever, and then that whole group goes towards the Blackbeard group, which is dealing with Law and Garp, and maybe the whole final confrontation moves to full lead. Because I also kind of feel like Elbaf probably has the final road poneglyph. Because Shanks is there right now. And he probably got it. And right now he's trying to get kids. And I've always thought that the last road poneglyph could be in Elbaf, considering all the historical stuff that's there. Plus the Library of Ohara is currently there in Elbaf as well. Maybe that's the play. Maybe Egghead, Luffy and Vegapunk and the rest of the good guys escape, go to Elbaf. The Marines deal with the fallout at Egghead, keeps them occupied. Maybe Smoker's there or whatever. We see Shanks. We deal with the stuff with the Giants. Robin meets Saul again. Usopp meets Dory and Broggy. We see what happened with Shanks and Kid. Luffy and Shanks maybe have a Davy back fight. Resolution of that then moves to full lead, and that's when we find out what happened to Garp. That's what we find out what happened to Law. That's what we find out what happened to Pudding. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I am supremely excited, though, to see where all of this is going. I think it's going to be excellent. I am super excited to see the resolution for this. And we got to move on because there's still more super chats and still more donations. There's so much stuff that we still got to get through. Okay. Terrence Matthews. Thank you, Amarol. Terrence Matthews super chatted and said the battle at Laugh Tale to become Pirate King might be a three-way battle now between Straw Hat, Red Hair, and Blackbeard. Going back to what I was talking about, the culmination of all the Yonko. I'm right there with you. David Ortiz super chatting saying people thought Law's crew would get bodied but held their own against the Blackbeard pirates. I definitely see Kid getting advanced conquerors against Shanks plus 100 plus warships to Egghead. Luffy is about to go to war too. Definitely. Isla super chatted with 20 euros just with a smile. Thank you, Isla. Appreciate it. Nakama. And here we go. This is the massive $100 donation from 42 minutes ago from Andrew Dittman. Andrew Dittman donated $100 and said, love your reaction, RogersBase. I heard you were doing a mini reverie with content creators who recently caught up. Who told you that they were lying? Who told you that? Where did you hear that? I had no plan to do that. I might do that now that you brought it up, but there was no plan to do a reverie or me host a reverie or a mini reverie or anything like that. So I think you just said that in your $100 donation to manifest it into existence. And maybe you just did. Maybe you did actually just manifest it into existence. I might have to do that. Not sure if you knew or not one or any of the members of Nani no Anime because Rough Senpai just caught up. I am aware. Rough Senpai and I are mutuals on Twitter. I know he's caught up. He'll be involved if I do end up doing that. But I don't know if I'm doing that. But I probably will at some point. If you guys want it, I'll do it. David Ortiz super chatted and said, there's no way in hell Yonko Commander beats Kid. I mean, Beckman already cut off his arm, so that already happened. So that literally already happened. May super chatted and said, I'm a little bothered that 2 Yonko are taking rubbings off of the others instead of hunting the poneglyphs themselves. It makes sense for Blackbeard, but for Shanks, I really wanted to see him go after it. I mean, that's just Oda moving the story along. We don't necessarily need to see side story of Shanks hunting down the poneglyphs. Shanks could have gone after them for years. So actually, this seems like in line with what Shanks would do anyway. Shanks is like, look, I'm letting the new generation do their own thing, but when it's time to get serious, I'll just take it off their cold, dead hands. That's how I feel Shanks is going about it. Makes sense for me, and I like it. I like it a lot. All right. Ozzy Edwards super chatting saying, Ben Beckman is no ordinary Yonko commander. Believe it? He is not. I agree. Ben Jackson super chatted and said, I think at this point, excuse me, I got to get some water. Talking too much. I'm losing my voice after 3 days at theme parks and hanging out with the Japan Time guys, doing a podcast last night, going to Super Nintendo World, all the other talking in this chapter. It's amazing. Where did I leave off? Alejandro donating and saying, what a chapter, excuse me. I did not see Dory and Broggy coming back to Elbaf. Do you think that Shanks is going to spread Kid? And do you think that Kid will turn into a cyborg? What do you mean, do you think that Shanks is going to spread Kid? You mean, do I think that Shanks is going to beat Kid? I do. Do I think Kid could turn into a cyborg? I think that'd be cool. Yes. Ben Jackson said, at this point, I think the Battle Royale Oda mentioned will be a Davy back with all 4 Yonko. I mean, imagine Blackbeard and Shanks with Law and Kid in chains and Luffy trying to save them. That would be fire as well. Absolutely. Arctic Dark donating with something completely unrelated to One Piece saying, how do you feel about Street Fighter 6? Do you want to play it? Of course I do. I literally have a Cammy statue on my desk. Yes, I love Cammy. I have a Cammy photo on my wall over there too. So yes, I love Cammy. I'm excited for Street Fighter 6. Now is not the place to discuss it though, but thank you for your donation. Fantastic. David Ortiz donated and said, Kid took on Big Mom's strongest attacks point blank. Reread that fight again. You think he can't do the same with Shanks? I do not. Shanks, again, I feel is a tier above Big Mom. But again, I might be underselling Kid, and I'm fine with that. I want Kid to prove himself. But to me, nothing that Kid has done in the story thus far leads me to believe that he would beat Shanks. Nothing leads me to believe that he would beat Shanks at all. Again, he might hold his own. He might do better now. But again, Kid and Law together were fighting Big Mom. Big Mom and Kaido, I think are a step up below Shanks. Remember, Shanks stopped Kaido from entering Marineford. So even though Kaido might be the strongest creature or the strongest beast, land, sea, and air always bet on Kaido, at the end of the day, Kaido lost to Luffy now, and Shanks stopped him from going to Marineford single-handedly. So again, Shanks is on a different level from Kaido and Big Mom. That is why we waited to see that. Kaido, just a little higher. All right. Garrett Anderson donated and said, I believe that Blackbeard and Luffy will meet on Elbaf and will fight to save Law with Kid's help. While Shanks heads to Laugh Tale to wait on Luffy for the fight for the title of Pirate King, and that will then lead us into Final War. You know, the more we talk about it, the more I think I agree with Artur and some of the other people that are out there that took Oda's statement as fact when he said that the story ends when they get One Piece, right? So I believe Final War and all that kind of stuff has to happen before they actually get to the One Piece. For years, I thought Luffy and the rest of them would get to the One Piece, discover a truth about the world, and that would lead into Final War. But now with the way that everything's playing out, with Garp and Blackbeard and Kid and Shanks and Luffy and Egghead and Agoro Sei and the Revolutionaries potentially going to Marijoa, I feel like Final War is coming sooner than we think. In my opinion. I could happen to be wrong, though. I'd be happy to be wrong. 38 in the chat said, Law is not losing to Blackbeard, you fools. Look, I am a huge Law fanboy. I want nothing more than Law to beat Blackbeard, but I don't see it happening. I just don't. I don't see it happening. I want it to happen, it would never happen. Especially not with, like, Luffy and Blackbeard having a fight, too. Blackbeard isn't going down before Luffy gets to him. It's not going to happen. Myron Lyons donated and said, Shanks versus Kid. 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb war. 5, 6, 7, 8. Bink sake tastes great. And then the sky splits in half. Myron, that's a beautiful idea for their fight. I think that's fantastic. They have a thumb war over Bink sake. Great. Fantastic. Ozzy Edwards super chatting, saying, I love the fact that Nami has her butt in Jinbei's face in the color spread. Of course you would, you freak. That guy 66 super chatted $5 and said last time he used Gear 4, he said it would be his last Gear 4. But I guess Luffy changed his mind. Maybe Gear 5 is too taxing after using it twice now. Agreed. Agreed. I think that's a big reason why. Six Pains, by the way, super chatted and saying Panda Man is in one of the panels cheering on Shanks. Is he really now? Let me go back. You guys are laughing at Ozzy when I was like, you freak. Yo, Ozzy's a long-time subscriber. I love Ozzy Edwards. Shout out to Ozzy. But I know what that man's looking for in the color spread. All right, let me go back to this chapter really quick. Hold on. Let me go see Panda Man. Where's Panda Man? He's cheering on Shanks? Let me see. James says, I'm a freak right there with you. I want to be looking at Nami. Exactly. All right, Shanks. Let's go to Shanks and Panda Man. Where do we see this? Shanks and Panda Man. Is this on the big spread with Dorian Broggy? Or is this on... What page is this on? Panda Man. I'm not seeing it on the one on 16 and 17 either. It's on the last page? Where? I see the guy with the mask. I see the ladies. I see Beckman. I don't see Panda Man here. Oh, there we go. I see him. If you look on the panel where it says they'll take your life, there's a little curve on the text bubble. If you look in between the curve, you'll see Panda Man's little head sticking out. Or you can also kind of see his body. He's going like this a little bit. He doesn't look like he has a shirt on. Shout out to Panda Man. Very, very cute. I did not notice that earlier. Shout out to Panda Man. Thank you for bringing that up. Ozzy Edwards donated again and said, corrections, I'm a super freak. Shout out to Ozzy Edwards. Thank you for another donation. Appreciate it, man. Brony B super chatted and said, Roger, I just wanted to say happy early birthday to my fellow Pisces. Thank you very much. Yeah, March 9th, my birthday's coming up. I am actually March 4th. Sadly, there's no chapter next week, but I hope you have a great one. Again, Brony B, next week we will be doing the Emu Art Contest, same time that we would normally do the One Piece live reaction. Me, Teching 101, Joy Boy Theories. We're going through every entry in the Emu Art Contest. We're giving away Amazon gift cards. It's going to be so much fun. Look forward to it. It's going to be a really, really great stream. I'm looking forward to it. So be there. Happy birthday. Happy early birthday. Love seeing you here. Okay. Where did I leave off? Brendan Olea donating again. Here we go. Brendan Olea said, Roger, do you think Killer will fight Snake or Lime Juice at this point? Snake or Lime Juice? Are those members of Shanks' crew? I'm going to be honest, I don't know all of Shanks' crew's name. I'm assuming they are. I'm assuming Killer will fight a member of Shanks' crew. I want to see Killer versus Rockstar. That's what I want to see. Killer versus Rockstar. I want to see Killer wipe out Rockstar. I want to see Killer actually do damage to one of the members of Shanks' crew that isn't Lucky Roo, Ben Beckman, or Yassop. I want to see him wipe one of them out. I think Rockstar would be funny. I think that'd be great. Also, shout out, by the way, to George Red Wine, becoming a member in the chat for 6 months, saying, this is my first time making it to a live stream. Praise be to Roger and James in this hype chapter overall. Love you all. Thank you very much, George. Greatly appreciate that. Nakama. Mimsy in the chat just said, Rockstar low-key is an MVP. I agree. That's why I want to see Killer fight him. All right. Fromix super chatted and said, do you think Usopp knows Dorian Broggy? I do not. He seems to be waving at them in that panel, and maybe he's a big fan of the Giants too. I think it would make sense, like father, like son, that he would also be a big fan of them. But I don't think that he knows that Usopp knows Dorian Broggy just yet. But that'd be a cool surprise later on. Mackerel super chatted and said, what were the locations that Oda named for the final road poneglyph? This might show where the remaining battles would break out. Also, how was Super Nintendo World? Super Nintendo World was amazing. I'll have a bunch of little shorts and videos coming out in the next couple days regarding Super Nintendo World. Tomorrow morning, by the way, just to let everybody know, tomorrow morning, we will have a Pokemon live stream to celebrate the Pokemon Presents that's happening at 6 a.m. There will not be, I repeat, there will not be a live stream in the afternoon on YouTube tomorrow morning because we're already doing the Pokemon Presents live stream. We're going to be doing a Genshin stream this upcoming Tuesday here on YouTube, and then Wednesday will be the finale of Metroid Prime Remastered. So if you're looking forward to all the stuff that I've been doing for the past couple weeks, again, tomorrow will be the Pokemon Presents, and depending on how I feel, we might do a Fire Emblem in the afternoon on Twitch. Tuesday will be more Genshin Impact and the finale of the Sumeru stuff and seeing all the interlude stuff with Dane. And then Wednesday will be the finale of Metroid Prime Remastered. So we've got a really packed week this week. One Piece amazing chapter this Sunday, kicking things off. Pokemon Presents tomorrow. A new Japan time, by the way, an in-person Japan time that will be edited and posted on Monday night that we recorded last night. Then Tuesday, Genshin. Wednesday, we're going to end up having Metroid Prime. It's going to be glorious. Oh, the Dane interlude quest is happening after maintenance. Oh, never mind then. Tuesday will be Metroid Prime. Wednesday will be Genshin. Thank you for letting me know, Rob. Regardless, lots of good stuff coming down the pipeline. It's going to be great. Shout out, by the way, to Mike, who's in the chat right now, also watching from the Japan Time house. Let me add you as a moderator again. Shout out to Mike. Shout out to Rocket Station. Shout out to all of you who are watching this from the Japan Time house right now. I love you guys. We had a great time at Super Nintendo World. I got to keep this moving. I got 1,500 people in here, and I'm an hour into Super Chats. So you guys, clearly you had a good time on today's stream. We got a lot to get through. Let's continue this. Hold on. JP Legend. Super chatting, saying, weren't Dory and Broggy fighting to the death? How are both of them alive? Well, we saw that both of them were alive after the events of Little Garden, and we didn't know where they were going to go, but now we know they're in Elbaf, and we knew that there was something going on with Dory and Broggy in Elbaf alongside Saul, because we saw that Saul saved the books from O'Hara. So there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. So don't worry about Dory and Broggy fighting to the death. Go back, go reread Little Garden. They're going to be buddies now. Don't worry about them. Okay. Hold on. But other thing I wanted to mention from JP Legend. Since Marines are on Egghead going to Blackbeard, is there a chance they are near Elbaf? Excuse me. Are you saying, is there a chance that some Marines are near Elbaf right now? If that's the case, I will say yes. I do think there's a chance that some Marines will go to Elbaf. We touched on that with the whole idea of the three-way final war culminating in a resolution with all four Yonko in the same place. Yes, so I do think there's possibility submarine ships might be near Elbaf right now. Completely agree. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yudikin, super chatting, saying, Roger, first time finally checking into one of your live streams. Welcome, welcome. Saying, after reading this chapter, I am worried that Killer will die protecting Kid. I don't want that to happen. I like Killer a lot. I don't want Killer to die. I would be very, very sad if Killer died. But that would be hype. But I would be sad. That is all. I just don't want Killer to die. I like Killer. Killer stock went way up after Roof Piece. I like Killer. Austin Smith super chatted. Shout out, that's my guy, Austin Smith, saying, what if Shiki is the one to break out Doflamingo instead of the Cross Guild? Let me raise that. Let me raise you. What if Shiki is the one to break out Doflamingo and the stuff at Impel Down, and that Shiki becomes a member of Cross Guild? Shiki, Doflamingo, Weevil, the Don Quixote pirates, you got like Senor Pink and the rest of them, Mr. 2, Bon Clay, reunion once again with Crocodile and Mr. 1 and Mr. 3 and Buggy and Alvida and Mihawk. Cross Guild is looking stacked right now. Cross Guild essentially could be one of the scariest threats in the entire world of One Piece if they end up getting all the members from Impel Down and Shiki. That's a massive W. I love that idea. I think it's great. I think you bringing up Shiki, potentially being introduced in canon right there, is a great idea. The end of One Piece is going to be fire, man. Every single chapter, every single week is going to be fantastic. I love it. Thank you. Where do we leave off? Dr. Doom saying Kid has to deal with Shanks and his crew, and besides Killer, Kid just doesn't have a strong crew yet. See, but again, this goes back to what we were saying with the Heart Pirates, that while some people think I might be underselling Kid, I think that the Kid Pirates, the no-name kind of Kid Pirates that we've seen in the background, characters like Heat, characters like Wave or whatever his name is, Wire, excuse me, I think those characters could end up being in like a Penguin, Sachi, John Bart kind of situation, like what we saw with the Blackbeard Pirates and the Law Pirates, right? Where they end up being more impressive than we expect, and they have hockey and all these other things. So who knows? Maybe they'll take me by surprise. I thought we would see more from them in Wano Country. We didn't really. But then again, we really didn't see all the Heart Pirates could do in Wano Country either. So I do think that maybe the Kid Pirates will see more from in this confrontation. I'd be excited for that. Absolutely. Devin Wilcox super chatted and said, fights at this level are all about hockey now, and we know that Shanks' hockey is insane. That is why I think that Kid has no shot. Again, I don't think Kid has no shot, but I think it's going to be an uphill battle, and I think Kid knows that, and I think he's excited for it. I think he says, look, maybe so, maybe they'll take my life this time, but it's only if I lose. So I think Kid has been inspired by Luffy and Law after the events of Wano. I think he's feeling himself a little bit after taking down Big Mom with Law. I think Kid is going to do some damage at the very least, but I don't see him beating Shanks. And that's where I land on that. Yeah. Money Tay donated and said, do you think Kid will let Rockstar return to Shanks alive? That's what I'm saying. Have Killer fight Rockstar. I think that'd be awesome. Let me see. Monkey Thief super chatted and said, Urouge still needs to be part of this arc. There's a theory that linked him to Elbaf. Maybe we could see him come in to help Kid. I would love to see Urouge make his way into Elbaf. Urouge technically was there, witnessed from the clouds when we had that moment of the temporary alliance or whatever before Kaido came crashing down with Apu and with Hawkins and with Kid and the rest of them. So I think it'd make a lot of sense for Urouge to come around in Elbaf as well. I also feel like Urouge, because he's in the sky, could drop in whenever we need him. But I do think that since we're focusing on Bonnie right now with Egghead, that I think stuff with Bonnie is going to resolve before we end up seeing a lot from Urouge. And I think Urouge is going to be the final supernova that we really spend a lot of time with. Because right now, we have now spent a significant amount of time with every other supernova. Drake, Apu, Killer, Hawkins, Kid, Law. They were all there in Wano Country, alongside Luffy, alongside Zoro. We got Blackbeard as a Yonko dealing with the stuff with Law right now. I think like Bonnie and Egghead Island, Capone, Big Mom. Like, we've seen all of them pretty much except for Urouge. So Urouge is going to become important at some point. It's just a matter of when that is going to end up coming into play. Yeah. David Ortiz donated and said, Kaido believed that Shanks could fight him, not beat him. Yeah, I think honestly though, I've said this before, I think after the events of Wano Country, I think Kaido was maybe a little too prideful. And I think maybe Kaido gassed up his crew a little bit too much. I think I may very well be underrating, and we talked about this on the power scaling stream last week, I may very well be underrating Queen and King and the rest of them. But a part of me thinks Kaido and his crew might have been gassing themselves up a little bit and might have rested on their laurels, kind of in the same way Big Mom did. Which is why Kaido lost to Luffy and Big Mom lost to Kid and lost to Law. They were remnants of an old era, right? Whitebeard. They were part of Whitebeard's era. Now we've got these new Yonko in play, and really the only remnant of the old era of the Yonko that's left is Shanks. He's the only one. But I think of all of the old era, right? Shanks is the last one standing, which implies to me that Shanks was a tier above and a level above Kaido, because he's the last one left of the old era. And Shanks is still relatively new comparatively, but of the main four, like when we started the series, when One Piece started, and we went into Marineford, and there were the four Yonko, it was Whitebeard, Kaido, Big Mom, and Shanks. Kaido and Big Mom fell. Whitebeard is dead. Shanks is all that's left. So to me, Shanks being the last one standing of the old guard implies to me that he's the strongest of all. Yeah. Shanks is a beast. I love Shanks. Also, more than any other character in this story, you guys know this, Oda loves gassing up Shanks. That's why Kaido needed to gas himself up within the story, because Oda wouldn't do it enough, because he needed Luffy to beat Kaido. So he needed to downplay Kaido a little bit so Luffy could come in swinging, Gear 5, doing everything in Wano Country. But Oda loves Shanks, and he knows the people love Shanks, and there's no way in which Oda will not make Shanks go down. If Shanks does go down, he's going to go down fighting, right? Like, Shanks is a beast. Oda will do everything possible to make a confrontation with Shanks as hype as possible, and I think the runoff of that will mean we're going to get really good moments with Kid during this fight with Shanks. I think Kid stocks are going to go up just from the fact that he's having this fight with Shanks, because I think Oda's going to go above and beyond the Call of Duty to make Shanks look as cool as possible and his crew look as cool as possible in this fight. Far and away. Shanks literally drove by Elbaf. Not Elbaf, excuse me. Shanks drove by Wano on his way to Elbaf. Shanks was on the sea. Shanks was important enough for Oda to put in an advertisement for his movie in the middle of the end of Wano Country with Uta and all that other stuff. So again, Oda loves Shanks. The people love Shanks. Shanks is not going down without a fight. Full stop. Continuing. Moving on. Natsu super chatted and said, Roger, I just wanted to tell you thank you for getting me into One Piece. I've been watching your channels for a long time now, and I'm currently on Fishman Island. Natsu, thank you for catching up. Thank you for becoming a One Piece fan. Thank you for telling me that I was the one to get you into it. I always love hearing it. And for that, let me give you a Nakama. Thank you very much. And finally, $20 super chat from S.O. super chatting saying, if Shiki breaks Doflamingo out of Impel Down, could Wang Ji team up with him since he lost Pirate Island along with Kaido and Big Mom, who also lost, and then maybe find Zebek and the Rocks Pirates and see them come back like Garp alluded to. Excuse me. S.O., let me tell you something right now. I've seen a lot of people bring up the idea that potentially Blackbeard is a clone of Rocks. I've seen that happen a lot. I've seen people bring up that, like, potentially Blackbeard could have been a clone of Rocks, and that explains why he can't sleep and his weird body and all this other stuff. And I think that's an interesting idea, right? That if he was a clone of Rocks, that maybe that explains why he could eat multiple devil fruits. Because we're seeing with the Seraphim can get devil fruit powers. We've not yet seen a Seraphim with 2 devil fruit powers, but maybe it could happen, right? Like, imagine if S-Bear also had the dice fruit. He doesn't, but imagine. Like, they're synthetic beings. We don't know. We also still have no idea what is going on with Stussy. Oda came and went with that reveal, right? We don't know what's going on with her. If that succubus power was the original Stussy's and then it carried over through the clone, or if that was something that the clone ended up getting over time, we have no idea. So I think at this point in the story, I think if we do get any information about the Rocks Pirates or what Rocks was like back in the day, I feel like we'll either get it through Shanks, or we'll get it through Blackbeard. Or we'll get it through Garp. I can maybe see it coming through Garp in a confrontation with Blackbeard, in which Garp thinks back to the fight with the Rocks Pirates and is like, wow, I haven't been challenged since this. And then it goes into that backstory, it goes into that, flashback or whatever. I think that could be kind of interesting, yeah. But, yeah. Chris the Ghost said the guy confused about Shanks wanting Kid's poneglyph is wrong. Shanks doesn't want them from Kid because he needs them. He wants them from Kid because Kid doesn't have them anymore, and Shanks knows that already. Wait, let me read that again. Chris the Ghost saying the guy confused about Shanks wanting Kid's poneglyph is wrong. Shanks doesn't want them from Kid because he needs them. He wants them from Kid. Oh, so, excuse me. So I read your donation wrong. You're saying he wants them from Kid so Kid doesn't have them anymore. Yes, I agree. Right, to keep Kid from going to One Piece and to get the thing for himself. Yes, I agree. I agree. All right, now, really, really quickly, hold on. Let me pull this up. Well, let me see. There's so many donations that are on here. Holy mackerel. I think I got to all the $5 and above. I got to all of you now. I see a couple of them that are smaller. Let me pull these up while we're doing this tier list that we said we were going to do with Kentaro. I'll get to some of these $2 ones and things that we normally wouldn't have time to get to, but I'll get to some of these while we're doing this tier list that James wants me to do of the thumbnails. So hold on, let's do this real quick. Let me open this up. Okay, shout out once again to Kentaro PJJ doing the sticker giveaway, putting this together, allowing me to do the thumbnails. First off, let me remove D tier. There's no such thing as D tier. There's also no such thing as even a C tier or anything like that. This is S+, then S, then A+, and then demonetized or needed revisions. I'll just put, well, let me see. S+, S, A+, and then needed revisions / demonetized. Oops, here we go. All right, here we go. Okay, so let's do this real quick while I'm reading some of these other donations. David Ortiz super chatted and said, Kaido believes oh, I read that one already. That was one of the $2 ones. Arctic Dark donated and said, Usopp versus Buggy matchup in the final war, perhaps? That would be really funny. I would like that. Dr. Dom said, talking about the Rocks fight, maybe Garp will team up with Luffy and take on Blackbeard. That would be super hyped to see Luffy fight with Garp. But I also feel like the Garp thing is going to be resolved before Luffy gets to Blackbeard. Okay, let me look at some of these. First off, this Shanks one from today is S+. That is one of the best things that he's ever done. It was so good. I loved that one. I'm also going to put in S+, a couple ones that immediately stand out to me that I absolutely loved when he did them. I really, really, really love Reverie Mini Yamato. The Lo-Fi Yamato is one of my all-time favorites, and I know that's a bestseller for James as well, so that's super high up there. I loved this Cross Guild poster for the first Cross Guild chapter with Buggy and Crocodile and Mihawk. I'm putting that in S. I loved this Blackbeard, Whitebeard, and Thatch one, which never even got posted to the YouTube channel yet. I still haven't even posted this one yet. So I'm going to put this one in needed revisions / demonetized / unused. Not, whoops. Hold on, why is it not? Hold on. Needed revisions, demonetized, or unused. Okay, so I'm going to put this one in here right now. But this is really cool, and when you see the full version of it, it'll be for a live stream in the near future, but we haven't done that one yet. Okay, this one with Zoro and Mihawk with the Clash of Conquerors hockey, I love. This is an S+ to me, one of my all-time favorites. I would say, let me see, what are some A+, ones I really, really like? Oh, this is one that needed revisions. We're going to put Lilith, the infamous Lilith, where he drew Lilith naked. That's going into needed revisions. This Stussy one is amazing, and it's a recent one, and I love it, and it's very clean. This one is also amazing as well. This Gorosei one is amazing as well. This Film Red one was amazing as well. This one, okay, this is the one with Law and Robin looking through the glass at the old Wano country underwater. This was for a chapter that some people might not think necessarily is worthy of an S+ thumbnail, but I loved the way that James drew the water underwater and the bubbles and the lighting in this one. I thought was amazing. Also, I'm a Law Robin shipper, so this is going in S+. I love this one. I also love the Yamato L that he did for the infamous L chapter. That's going in S. I'm gonna say, oh, this is also an iconic one. Of the 4 Yonko together for the first time, that's an S+, definitely. I've used that for other thumbnails. This female Law Beppo one is also S+. I thought he did such a good job with that chapter. I'm gonna put the Kuma one in A+, nice and clean. I'm gonna put this Luffy one in A+. I'm gonna put this Luffy one in A+. I'm gonna put this Bonnie Luffy Chopper one in A+. This one needed actual revisions because he put Hancock's head right in the front and it was bleeding and it looked like Blackbeard beheaded Hancock. But I zoomed in for the thumbnail and just did Kobe and Blackbeard. But this one needed revisions, so I will put this in needed revisions. This one, very basic but very cute with Yamato with the straw hat, but I'm going to put this near the bottom because Yamato didn't become a straw hat. I'm going to put this Shanks and Sabo one that I really, really liked in S. I'm going to put this Kaido and Luffy one in the top of A+. I'm going to put this Momonosuke one, which I love the lighting in this one, in S. I'm going to put this Vegapunk one. Honestly, I'm going to put this Vegapunk one in S too, because I think he did such a good job of making a color scheme for Vegapunk, and we have since seen the official color scheme of Vegapunk because it's in the front page of Jump, and he pretty much got it spot on. So well done. He followed Albert Einstein's color scheme in real life and did that for Vegapunk. Good job, James. I'm putting that one in S. Let's see. This Komurasaki one is really cute with her and like the shamisen, and then you had Orochi in the back. I'm gonna put that in A+. I'm putting this Flampe Cypher Pole is goated. This was one of the first meme ones that we did, and I thought he did a killer job with it. This is an S for sure. This Luffy one was so hype. Both of these need to be an S alone, even though Luffy didn't end up looking Super Saiyan in Gear 5. I'm putting both of these in S alone just because both of these chapters were incredible. We had such an amazing turnout, and I think the turnout for those chapters and the reason why those got so many views was probably due to James's thumbnail. So I'm putting those in S. I'm going to put this Luffy one where he punches Looney Tunes style Kaido into the top of A+. But I will say I've used that shot of Luffy with the punch in multiple other thumbnails since then. I loved it. I thought it was great. I love all your thumbnails, as I could say. Like I said, there's no C. I really think you've done an amazing job. Even the ones that needed revisions or that went unused, I thought you did a really good job with. And I'm not just saying that to be like a good boss or whatever. I really do think you've gone above and beyond the Call of Duty, James. You've been amazing. All right, let me pull this up as well. We've got, oh, this Jinbei. I love this Jinbei Raizo one as well. I'm going to put that top of A. I'm going to put this Momo one with the adult Momo crying with the little Momo in S. I thought this was beautiful. I love what you did with Denjiro and Komurasaki. I'm going to put that in A. I'm going to put this one with all the strides together in A as well. This Law one is also going in the top of A. This Lucci one and this clash with Lucci and Luffy, I'm going to put this Lucci one in S. I'm going to put this one at the top of A+. I'm going to put this really cool one that you did, really cool stylized one, 60s, 70s psychedelic style version of the Vegapunks. I'm only going to put this one in needed revisions because of what you said last chapter in your author comments about how you need to revise this one yourself to make York bigger. But that's no fault of your own. You could never have known that York was huge. But I'm going to put that one in that one anyway. And then finally, rounded things out, I'm going to put this Crocodile Mihawk Buggy one into S. And I'm actually going to move up. I'm going to move up this one with the Cross Guild. I think what you did with that Cross Guild bounty poster was so good, and I think standalone is so iconic, and you did an amazing job, James. But as you can see, all of these are S+, a couple A's with A+, still did an incredible job, and then needed revisions, demonetized, unused. Maybe one thing I will do, I'll do this. I'll move this one up, and just for your own sake, I'll move a row below, and we'll call this one just A. And these are for the more basic ones when you were still learning. So I'll say this one, I'll say this one, I'll say this one, I'll say this one. And I really like all of these though. I think this one should move up. I think this Law is like the very top of A+. And then I would say, if we're going to move one more down to regular A, let's just go with this one. I'm going to go with this one actually because I have negative connotations looking at this thumbnail. Not because the thumbnail was not beautiful, you did an amazing job, but that was the last One Piece chapter before my major YouTube hack. And so when I look at this thumbnail, I think back to this being the most recent video on my channel when the hack happened. So that's why I'm putting that there. Otherwise, incredible job. I'll put this one still at the top of A because it was still beautiful. Incredible job once again, James. Let me really quickly read some of these other super chats that happened while I was ranking these. Peter Kopaz said Shanks met Kid as a kid and formed the Kid Pirates as a means to get back at Shanks, similar to Luffy, since they both couldn't join as kids. Interesting. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but that's interesting for sure. Dr. Dom super chatted and said, talking about the Rocks fight. Oh, that's the Garp one that I read earlier. Okay. And then there was apparently a $10 one from Sleepy Times that I missed regarding Zoro. Let me pull. Oh, here we go. This arc really is Zoro's enemies reunion. King, Mr. One, and Mihawk and S-Hawk, and Kuma and S-Bear, and Kaku all together in one arc. Yeah, I guess so, man. Mihawk and Mr. One, and Kuma and S-Bear, and obviously King being, you know, a member of the Lunarians, and the Seraphims kind of having the Lunarian wings. And Kaku. You're right, there's a lot of Zoro enemies here. Also, last but not least, I want to do this. We're going to start wrapping this up. I cannot believe we've almost gone to 2 hours. This was such a good stream. Thank you once again to everybody who came through. This phenomenal. I really quickly want to give a shout out to all the members who re-upped during this stream. Let me give a shout out to all of you specifically. I know you're going to see yourselves in the credits, but I want to shout you out anyway. I love all of you. Shout out to AimPDX, okay? Kami, Das Poof with 54 months, the absolute GOAT. I love you, Poof. Sleepy Times, Santino, Partha, Andrew Dittman, let me see who else. Ross Joseph, Too Much J-Pop, Terrence Matthews, Ethan Schaff, George Redwine, and Peter Kopaz, all for becoming members. Shout out to all of you. Nakama. I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning right here on youtube.com/RogersBase to see what goes down during the 6 a.m. Pokemon Presents presentation. Once again, thank you everybody for being here. Like, comment, subscribe, and until next time, I will talk to you guys later. Nakama!